In this week's article by Lancaster, Yen, Huang, and Hung, the authors are looking specifically at how people choose between instant messenger or email. They're not so much interested in whether one application is superior to the other, as they're interested in what kinds of affordances different technologies provide, and the kind of things that different people prefer in different situations. Although they focus on two applications, this kind of approach can be applied to any kind of digital communication tool or platform. The choices about what technologies or applications we use can be based on a whole lot of different factors that range from our own preferences to how the technology limits us. We do seek to find things that best meet our needs. This is usually referred to as the uses and gratifications approach. In practice, what this means is that our media use changes depending on things like where we are, what we're doing, and who we're communicating with. We make decisions, sometimes consciously, sometimes not, based on our needs and the technologies and platforms that we have access to, and the needs and technology of the people around us. There's a lot of specific considerations that can go into making these choices. Here are a few of them. First, they're the actual requirements of the task. If you need to write a long explanatory message to a single person, you're not likely to choose Twitter. Perceived usefulness is also a big one. It seems pretty self-explanatory, but if you can easily see how something will meet your needs, you're more likely to use it to meet those needs. If how a technology or platform will meet your needs isn't as clear, you'll be more hesitant to use it. Ease of use is similar to perceived usefulness. If people can see that they're going to have a steep learning curve, or sense that an application will be difficult to use, they'll be deterred from using it. If you consider, for example, some popular social media, you'll find it's often pretty easy and straightforward to use. This makes it appealing to people, causing them to choose it over more challenging or difficult options. On a somewhat less practical level, the level of intimacy we have with a person or the kind of relationship will also factor into our digital communication choices. For someone you don't know that well, longer, more formal forms of communication, such as email, tend to be preferable to things like Facebook status updates or tweets because of the perceived formality and the opportunity to carefully craft the message. Moving back to practical considerations, speed of response is also an important factor sometimes. If speed is an issue, you need a response about an important issue right now, for example, being able to communicate quickly is an important consideration. This may lead users to a particular platform that they know is quick, but it may also have them take into account which platform the person they need to communicate with is likely to check the most often. If you know that the person you need to talk to only checks email twice a day, but sees every new Twitter message on their phone, you're likely to choose the latter. Finally, amount of information can determine what we use to communicate. A lot more information can be conveyed through some applications than others. That said, applications that historically may not have delivered quite as much information are consistently seeking ways to offer more information, especially through things like images, links, or attachments. These considerations don't necessarily come into play all the time and for every decision, but they do strongly inform our technology use.